What's good, Wizards fans? So this video is talking about who should stay or who should go, or predicting who's going to go, who's going to stay, who's going to stay, who's going to leave. I do the same thing with the Washington football team at the end of every season. I'm a little late with this video, so we're going to look at the free agents that we have. Their contracts expire in 2021. So Robin Lopez, he is an unrestricted free agent. Raul Neto is an unrestricted free agent. And Ishmael Smith is also an unrestricted free agent. Garrison Matthews is a restricted free agent. Cassius Winston is a restricted free agent. And Alex Len is an unrestricted free agent. So the thing with restricted free agents, we can make a qualifying offer and just easily re-sign those guys. Now, if another team decides to match, then they'll get picked up by a different team. Kind of the same thing with unrestricted free agents. Now, it's a little different. It's easier for other teams to get them. Now, you can do a sign and trade with certain guys, but the unrestricted free agents that we have on this roster, I don't think that we're gonna do a sign and trade with like Robin Lopez and Ish Smith and Raul Neto. We really could to involve them in a trade for, a lot of people want DeMar DeRozan, Jeremy Grant, Kristaps Porzingis, guys like that. Maybe we could include them in a sign and trade just to send multiple players in our first round pick for Jeremy Grant or something like that. But I highly doubt the Pistons would really want a Robin Lopez or an Ish Smith. So or any other team would want those guys, to be honest with you. Ish Smith had a good year. Robin Lopez with the hook shot was incredible. He really was. There were some times where Captain hook shot, the efficiency from the hook shot, I got to look at the numbers for the percentage with that hook shot. It was not the prettiest thing in the world, and the footwork wasn't pretty, but he got the job done. He was able to get the hook shot down every game. It was pretty clutch at moments too, and he was a solid free throw shooter as well. But he definitely was a liability on defense. But Rolo, his 1 year in DC was definitely interesting. There was a lot of missed layups, but a lot of made hook shots from Robin Lopez. And a couple of dunks here and there. He was surprised. You could barely jump over a phone book. But he finished some dunks a couple times here and there. So let's go down the list here. We'll start with Ishmael Smith, who should stay and who should go. Now, Ishmael Smith, looking at his contract, he signed a 2-year, $12 million contract 2 years ago, and he is 32 years old. Now, there were times where Ish Smith was one of the better point guards on this team, and he struggled in the first half of the year. Then he got injured. I think he had a hip injury. Then he came back from the injury. It was very vital in our 17-6 run to end the year. And I thought he had some good moments in the playoffs as well. Hit some key jumpers, some nice tough mid-range jump shots, and it was a solid passer as well. I thought he had a good connection with Daniel Gafford on some alley-oops as well, passing him the ball and getting some other guys open for wide open threes. So I do like Ish Smith, and he was once voted the fastest point guard in the NBA by GMs. So I do like Ish Smith, but the only thing with Ish is that he's just not much of a three-point shooter. And honestly, he was a part of that 3-guard lineup that Scott Brooks loved with Russ, Ish, and Raul Neto. 3 guards who were under 6'4" out there at a time. But if we're going to do that lineup, which I hope we don't, or a small guard lineup, the only thing is that Ish was somewhat of a liability because he could not shoot threes. If Russell Westbrook is going to get the ball, he's trying to create a shot for somebody else and kick it out, and Ish Smith is the shooter, he wasn't too good from three-point land. Now, Raul Neto was a better shooter from what I watched. I think his shooting form is better, and he was just a better three-point shooter. So, honestly, I would like to keep Ish, but if I had to make a choice between Raul Neto and Ish Smith, I would have to go with Raul Neto. I just thought he was a better shooter. They're both really scrappy guards. You just can't go wrong with either one. But I think we could bring back Raul Neto for cheaper, maybe about $3 million per year, if that. Raul Neto this past year had $1 million and $882 and $882,867 this past year. So Raul Neto had a solid year this year. He definitely exceeded expectations. So if I had to choose between the 2 guards, I would bring back Raul Neto as a backup point guard. There were games where Russell Westbrook missed back-to-backs, and Raul Neto stepped up and played very well. Now, he does need to relax on the flopping. Now, defensively, he is a liability. That's the one thing. Ish Smith is better defensively. He's scrappy. He gets more steals. He plucks the ball from behind, can strip the basketball from other guys. Raul Neto was getting targeted on defense. There was times where Steph Curry was like, hey, just give me the basketball right here. He's a baby in the post. I'm just going to score on Raul Neto just easy. He can't do nothing about it, basically. That's what he did. He was like, I'm going to teach him a lesson. And he was posting Raul Neto up. It was getting pretty bad at times. But I just think for this team offensively, if we want to space the floor and get more spacing and get better shots and be more efficient from the 3-point land, I would keep Raul Neto over Ishmael Smith. It is a tough decision, but I would keep him. Now, Robin Lopez is the wild card here because he played good at times, played really well, exceptionally well with that hook shot. Now, we paid him 1 year, $7 million this past year using the mid-level exception. If we want to resign him, we probably have to use the mid-level exception as again on Robin Lopez. I thought $7 million when we signed him was a little bit much, but I thought he earned that money. I thought he played pretty well to the point. I don't know if he earned all $7 million of it, but he's definitely warranted for a contract of at least $5 million for a year. For a guy that can score in the post like that and control a game, there was times where he was controlling the game. Like the Raptors game, he finished that game really. We don't win that Raptors game on the road down the stretch if it's not for Robin Lopez. We needed that game really, really badly to get the ninth seed at that time or 10th seed. So I would try to bring him back. You know, I don't know about $7 million. I would offer him $5 million. So most likely he's going to walk. So I just think he was a liability on defense. And I think there's some other centers that you can go out there and sign that would be better defensively. They're not going to have the offensive prowess like that hook shot that Robin Lopez had. But I think there's some defensive centers in free agency that we can go get at a cheaper price of maybe like $3 million or something like that. Maybe Nerlens Noel. I got to look at how much he got paid by the Knicks this year. And he's mostly a bench, come off the bench big, just an energy guy who can finish and catch lobs and block shots. So that's somebody who I would look up to back up Daniel Gafford or back up Thomas Bryant to be that third string center. Next is Alex Len. I like Alex Len. Alex Len was pretty good at times. He was just a little slow on defense. Sometimes he did miss layups. He did finish around the rim. I thought he provided some energy. But down the stretch in the playoffs, he definitely did need to sit on the bench. And I think if Thomas Bryant was there, I don't think Alex Len, well, he wouldn't even be on the roster if Thomas Bryant didn't get hurt. But Alex Len provided some depth. He did. He blocked shots. He was our starting center. Might have been the worst start. He might have been one of the lower tier starting, definitely one of the lower tier starting centers in the NBA. Former Maryland Terp. I like what he did. I thought he brought some energy, blocked some shots, and finished around the rim. He actually had a couple of threes, so he's pretty surprising. Definitely revived his career. Had a couple of double-doubles. He played pretty well. Now, he was just a little slow on defense. I thought he missed some bunnies here and there. So I'm not hard-pressed to really bring him back, per se. So if we do part ways and he does, I think he's going to earn more than $1 million. I think he's going to get a better contract from a different team this year. He was waived by the Raptors in the middle of the season. Only thing is that he's slow. He can't move his feet, and he's not much of a jump shooter, which a lot of teams are looking for that stretch five right now nowadays. So I'd probably let Alex Len walk, but I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind bringing him back as our backup center, as our third string center behind Gafford and Thomas Bryant. So I would not be mad at that at all. Isak Bonga, I'm not gonna say too much. I think he can walk. To be honest with you, he can't shoot the basketball, can't score, can barely dribble the ball. Just a lot of development is needed from Isak Bonga. I think he has potential defensively, but a lot of development is needed from Isak Bonga, to be honest with you. So I would pass on him and let him walk. He's a restricted free agent, so we could definitely pick him up for cheap, but I would let him walk. Garrison Matthews is a restricted free agent. I would love to bring him back. Just has to cut down on fouling. But he's a really darn good three-point shooter. We just need spacing. We need shooters bad. So I would bring Garrison Matthews back on a cheap $1 million deal. Cassius Winston, I'd bring him back as well. Even if he's on the G League, I would just bring him back. He's our second-round pick. So I think he could definitely develop more. He needs more playing time, honestly. If he can get some playing time. I saw some flashes. The guy can shoot, man. We saw it at Michigan State. The guy can shoot. He was killing everybody. A lot of people killing the G League. But I think he does deserve some more playing time. So I would keep him. He's 24 years old. So he is he's 23 years old. So he's kind of an older young player, but at the same time, he's just, he was a 3 or 4 year player at Michigan State. So that's not really a knock on him in my opinion, but I think he's a guy that could definitely learn under Russell Westbrook and get better and play with playing time. I think he can develop as a good floor general and a passer and a good shooter for the Washington Wizards as a point guard. So for me, I would keep Raul Neto. And that's the only guy I would really honestly try to bring back. I would see what's going on with Robin Lopez, see how much money he really wants. And those are the two guys, and Garrison Matthews and Cassius Winston. So those are the four guys that are free agents that I would bring back. You guys let me know what you guys think about that. Who would you guys bring back? Plan on making some free agency videos coming up. Who we should sign in the mock draft. We do have the 15th pick in the draft. Remember, we do not have a second round pick this year. So most likely I got a feeling we're going to trade the pick. I like a lot of the guys in this draft. I think we can have a solid draft with some of these guys that are available in the draft. So, all right, y'all. Hail to the Wizards. Peace.